Hello, anyone and everyone. I am Echo, and today we're exploring the Vanishing of Ethan Carter. So, after the last episode, we had just arrived at the town, but I've actually decided to turn back real quick, real briefly, because I was thinking about it, and it seemed... I was thinking about the traps at the beginning of the game where we ran into... I guess we hit a tripwire or something, and... wait, is that it right there, actually? That looks like it. Yeah, that's the thing that almost hit us before. At the beginning of the game. Yeah. This thing, I thought when I first... Yeah, sense, and it gives us the thingy. I thought that for some reason this was just a weird tutorial to show us how to do the, the sensing mechanic. But... I mean, this is barely a tutorial. I was thinking about it. This is barely a tutorial at all, and the actual train puzzle that we've already done could have just as easily told us how to do that. So I came back here to see if there was anything else going on, and actually, while I was on my way back to look for that, I saw this over here, another trap. It looks like. So let's sense it as well. Okay. Alright, so the circle, again, much like when we touched the dead guy's body, the circle seems to get more complete as we find more parts. So I think I accidentally ran past the first puzzle in the game, which is supposed to be this business with traps, I'm gonna guess. I'm assuming we'll find more traps, because after I saw that and naively thought it was a tutorial, I just went ahead and followed the train tracks to continue on with the game. I didn't think to look around the forest here, which admittedly is somewhat unlike me. Okay, that's... Ooh, that's a nasty little thing. Alright, sense it. Alright. Looks like we maybe have one more trap to find to get the whole picture. I know we can't die in this game, but... Oh, is that it? Yep, that looks like it. Yeah, I know we can't die in this game, but it's still kind of... It's honestly a little tense walking around in a spooky forest that you know has a bunch of traps in it, and they are quite well hidden. Okay, so if we sense this, will that complete it? Or is there a fifth one we need? Oh, I think there's a fifth one. Yep. It's not doing anything just yet. Alright. So we've got a bear trap, a pitfall, a spiky board, and a like swinging spiked pendulum doohickey. Whoever set these up, I guess maybe Ethan's family set these up to try and keep outsiders away. Right, this is the path. This is the path we went on. And I saw the overlook, which I believe is the same one that I used in the screenshot for this for these videos, or the thumbnail. I mean, I believe that is the same one. Yeah. Also, in the last two videos, I don't know if anybody else even noticed, but I certainly did. The game's frame rate seemed to drop a little bit, and it wasn't too bad, but as soon as I started this second play session up, I just want to see if it might do anything differently. Let me examine this one instead. Doesn't seem like it. Does it show anything different if we're on a different side of it? Viewing it from a different angle? No, it does not seem to. Okay. But yeah, as soon as I started this section up and I was starting to run back to this area here with all the traps, the frame rate had a few hiccups yet again. Hey! It's another one of those things. That's weird. Okay, now I'm thinking, because this is something that in the spot where we found Ethan's, the ropes tied up where Ethan had been put on the tracks, one of these was right next to it. I assumed that it was, for some reason, a weight or something tied to the ropes to make it harder for him to run away, but now I'm thinking, is this some kind of marker for the guy driving the train? I don't know. I don't know much about trains, so I can't say. But that's neat, I guess. If that is indeed what it is, that's some pretty cool attention to detail. Yeah, that's that thing. They seem to be spaced pretty evenly apart. So I'm kind of wondering how I'm having such trouble finding this fifth one. If there is indeed a fifth one. Maybe there isn't. Maybe there's something else I'm missing. Not a fifth trap, but something else related to this puzzle. Which, so far, can't even really call it a puzzle. It's more of a scavenger hunt or something. Not to be picky, but, you know. We haven't really done any deciphering of any kind. But the thing I was saying earlier, just as soon as I started up the session, the frame rate was a little choppy, so I have changed the settings around a little bit. I didn't do anything drastic, so I don't think anybody watching this video will notice a difference. But in case you do, apologies, and, well, that's why the frame rate wasn't fantastic. And hopefully you will notice the difference in frame rate, because I take the time and effort to render these videos out in 60 FPS. I hope people appreciate that, because it literally doubles the amount of time it takes to render the videos out, and also quite increases the amount of time it takes to upload the videos, and it increases the amount of time it takes those videos to what's it called? Process on YouTube. Though that's not actually a problem, I guess, because since I pre-schedule all the uploads, by the time anybody watches them, they've already become completely processed. Okay, this isn't drastically far away or anything, but this is kind of a new area that I didn't see before. Hopefully it's tied to the same spot with all the traps, because I don't know what I'm supposed to find over there. Okay. I'm thinking maybe there's something hidden in the tree trunk. So it looked like there were some divots that had been, or not divots, but like grooves sort of burrowed into it, I guess. Didn't seem like it though, didn't seem like there's anything. Oh! There you go! You were off the beaten frickin' path! Alright, sense the hell out of it. What? Oh, these are bones. These are lots of bones. That's a lot of people that are dead. Holy crap. I wasn't expecting that in this game. Alright, let's read the note. Oh, it won't show me the top. Sap by Ethan Carter. An old man came to the forest every day to drink sap from the trees. To get there, the old man had to step around many dangerous traps. The villagers believed this old man had hidden a jade amulet in the forest. But the old man wanted the villagers to believe this because Then they would search the forest for treasure and not drink his sap. One cool fall night, someone set fire to the forest, and the fire spread to the village. The old man escaped the fire by covering himself in sap. When he returned to the village, he found all the villagers' bones. The old man sat down and cried. Then he found more sap to drink. Okay.
Ethan, I told you, you can't be here.
But Gramp, I wrote something for you.
That's real nice. Thank you. Just leave it. I'll read it later.
Okay, and there's a bottle there. I'm guessing that's a bottle he would use to fill up with sap from the trees. Oh, there's another note. It's a little campsite. The bones are gone. At least now they are. One dead in house fire. Alright, let's just do this there. One dead in house fire by Jeff Jermu, Bayfield County. Fire damaged a historic home in Red Creak Valley Wednesday morning, according to officials from the Bayfield County Fire Department. A family of 6 was asleep when the blaze broke out at the remote house, once owned by Albert Vandegrift, at 46 Old Ogden Road in Red Creek Valley. Gail Carter, 58, was pronounced dead at the scene. Remaining family members were able to escape. Carter's husband, Edwin, 62, told investigators he may have fallen asleep with a lit cigarette in his hand. Okay. Firefighters were dispatched to the scene at 4:22 a.m. and remained at the scene until around 5 a.m. Wednesday. They returned to the property 4 hours later to extinguish hot spots which had rekindled. Assisting at the initial fire was the Ashland Township Volunteer Fire Department. Masonville Emergency Medical Services was on standby at the scene. Okay. This says 1 of 2? Oh, okay, cool. After a heated public hearing, no answers for Vandergrift heirs by Tom Lawton. Bayfield County members of the Vandergrift family again gathered in the Bayfield County Courthouse today to debate the fate of the Vandergrift fortune, which has remained in escrow since 1961, when family patriarch Albert Vandergrift, 71, died in a mine accident, the after effects of which nearly destroyed Vandergrift Industrial and severely damaged the local economy. James Vandergrift, 38, of Chicago, argued that his father's demands were unreasonable and that many Vandergrift family members have personal reasons for wanting to avoid living in Red Creek Valley on the Vandergrift estate, as stipulated in the elder Vandergrift's will. The recent fire in which the Vandergrift home was damaged, he said, only underlined his family's concerns. Since 1967, the Carter family has lived upon the former Vandergrift estate as temporary caretakers. I think that's 67. Okay. That looks like the old man that the kid called Ed. That is... Huh. So, was the old man... Let me read this again real quick. Just sort of skim over it. Okay, so yeah. Gail Carter... Edwin Carter. Oh, Edwin Carter. So that's Ed that the kid called him. That is the old man. Okay. All right. And public hearing answers for Vandergrift heirs. I'm a little confused. How are the Vandergrifts related to this, though? The Vandergrifts are just the people who own the estate? Yeah, historic home in Red Creek Valley Wednesday morning. Okay. So it seems Ed Carter, the old man, had been living with his wife and kids back in the 60s in the Vandergraff estate. I guess they'd bought it out, or oh wait, were they the caretakers? Is that what it said? James Vandergrift, 38, Chicago, blah, blah, blah. Since 1967, the Carter family has lived upon the former Vandergrift estate. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, yeah, they'd been living in the house as caretakers for the Vandergrifts, or Vandergrifts, which however you pronounce it. And they had a fire, and his wife died, and Ed got out, and suppose Ethan must have been born after that, because Ethan's pretty young. Unless the game is set in the 70s, it might be. Not sure. It didn't mention the names of the other family members. Okay, so here's a bunch of old cigarette buds. And we don't see any bones around here. I'm gonna guess that was just the dream. I get the feeling that the kid made this story about his grandfather. So, but not literally. He made it about it was inspired by the events that his grandfather went through. It's not a literal retelling of those events. And in the kid's version of the story, an entire town of people ended up burning up because they wouldn't listen to him or whatever. But in the real life story, it was just the one family who lost their house, and one of them died. Okay. Oh, and so I guess these aren't bottles of sap. I guess these are probably old liquor bottles. And there's quite a lot of them, I just noticed. The grandfather probably came out here to just drink and smoke a lot and try to forget about what happened. Even threw the newspaper article into the fire. Though, apparently he didn't do it well enough, since enough of the newspaper article survived for us to read it. But okay, we can't go that way. It's an invincible wall. Already tried going down over that section, couldn't go. Okay, so that's, yeah, let me go back to one of the traps real quick. One of them was right here. Did the traps disappear? I think the traps disappeared. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. The traps literally disappeared after we completed the little story moment. It's kind of, it's not super bad, but I'm gonna say it does annoy me a little bit to just, like, edit the continuity. The only reason our character was... unless those traps... Maybe the traps weren't actually there to begin with. Yeah, actually, that makes sense. Because our character, Paul Prospero, he's supposed to be psychic, or something similar to psychic. He's supposed to have some kind of supernatural powers to be able to detect the other side, or whatever you want to call it. Also want to take a look down here real quick, just see if there's anything over here. I doubt it, but, just in case. Perhaps something about that area, because that's where... Is this a... No, okay. For a second I thought this might be a grave. It just looks kind of weird and out of place. This rock placed on a little mound of dirt, but I guess it's just a coincidence. Okay. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna guess, is that because that's the place where the grandfather went to drink and smoke and mourn his loss and try to forget everything, there's probably a lot of, like, spiritual / emotional build-up and stuff around that area. And that probably is able to cause Prospero to have visions. And he probably had visions of the traps because the traps were from the kid's story. And the kid's story was based off of, or inspired by the real events that his grandfather went through. So it was all sort of vaguely related. It's sort of like you know, the traps and everything aren't meant to be taken literally, I guess. It's more of a sort of symbolic thing, like the traps, you know, vaguely represent the emotions and the turmoil of stuff that was going on in that physical area. You know? Yeah, that'll be my guess. That's what I'm going with. It makes sense to me. And I hope I explained it clearly. Because if not, then goddamn. Also, I'm going to try and remember that clock is there. I'm not going to bother remembering the time the clock says, but I'm just going to remember it's there. Because if it becomes important later, I want to be able to come back and look at it. Because I remember, I don't remember how long ago it was.
Trains have been through here for a long time. That was part of a pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Large pieces of this country were thrown away, doomed to become, and then remain, the worst versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Beneath all that rot, dark things grow.
Yeah. So the way the autosaves in this game work, it autosaves every time you complete a puzzle or read a note you haven't read yet. So when I reloaded this, according to the save we're in now, I haven't actually reached the town yet, so that's why he repeated that line. But anyway, a while back, I think it was like a year ago by now, actually, or roughly that, maybe a little more, I played a game called Montague's Mount, and in that game, the solution to one of the puzzles is that you have to put in a timer, or you have to put an amount of time into a sundial, and the solution is to set it to the exact same time as a clock that's like in the town nearby. And as far as I can remember, there wasn't any logical reason why the sundial should have to match up to the broken clock that was in the town. But because of the way video game logic works, that's just what we had to do. And that ended up being the solution. You had to just match up the two times. I get the feeling Vanishing of Ethan Carter isn't going to be that cheap, I want to say. Not really cheap. This gives... Man, I love these views. They give a really good sense of distance. Like, holy crap. Like, that is most likely an area we are going to go to and have to do stuff in and get story from. As well as that, possibly. Or that, certainly. That house down there. And that house actually has a little path that you can see that leads over to the quarry. So yeah, we're almost definitely going to go down there and have stuff to do. The fact that we can sort of get a sneak preview, I love that. Reminds me of the Dark Souls games. They do that a lot as well, especially Dark Souls 3. I think Dark Souls 3 does it more than any of the other games in the series. Like, give you the ability to go up high somewhere and, you know, look around and look at the environment from afar, stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, I don't suspect Vanishing of Ethan Carter is going to have a puzzle like that, where we have to go back and match up the time on one clock to another or anything like that. It seems like it's more to do with sensing objects in the environment and retelling past events. But just in case, I want to remember the clock's back there. And I just took 4 minutes to explain why I wanted to remember that a clock was in an area. That's fantastic. Okay. Let's have a look around. This is another one of those... We saw a tower just like this over by the train station. Can't remember if the other one had that yellow bit on it, but it doesn't look relevant because we can't reach it. And there was also one of these little boxy doohickeys with bars on the windows back there. And another door we can't interact with. Okay. I guess these are some sort of generic small town buildings. Alright. We got that path over there. We got this path up here that'll likely lead us into that house. This path up here that'll likely lead us into that house. And another path down there, into a different section of the forest. Okay. Branching paths. Oh my god. So many to remember already. Let's go in this one first, just because it's the first we saw. And, again, I have to wonder what would possess someone to live in a house. That's a really weird-looking piece of wood. For a second, I thought it was a book that had been burned. But I guess not. Yeah, again, I have to wonder what the hell would possess somebody to live in a house that has this for a view. Then again, not everybody's afraid of heights like I am. But you don't have to be afraid of heights to understand why it's dangerous to put a house right on the edge of a cliff. Because things like rainstorms and mudslides can happen, and suddenly your house isn't on the cliff anymore. Suddenly your house is at the bottom of the cliff. Okay. Is that, it's a picture of a ship, an old sailing ship. Perhaps this family's insignia or something? Oh, no. What does that say? At the top there. Oh, it's just some letters and a symbol thingy. Okay. Okay, good, we can see the bottom. I invoke the Boneless One, the One of Voids, destroyer of ships, and he who is feared by the winds. Hear me. Great Minister Focalor, I wish to make a pact with you to confound my enemies and protect my possessions. Use the doors of confusion to cloud their judgment. Seal the path with falsity and guile, and permit only those who can discern every true interior to pass. Agalon Tetragram, Vachion Stimulamaton, Epharis Tetragrammaton, Alyarum, Irion, Esitian, Existian, Oriona, Onera, Orasim, Moim, Messias, Soter, Emmanuel, Sabaoth, Adonai, Ta, Adoro, et te invoco, Amen. Okay, that's a bunch of Latin. Don't suppose this translates it. No, it does not. Okay. Oh, I'm not even gonna pretend to know what any of the Latin says, but this seems pretty obvious. Pretty obviously to be a note of someone from olden times trying to summon a demon to confound their enemies with guile and such. And I guess both of these kind of confirm a theory that I was about to have before I read the note, where it seems all the houses in this town have been here for a very long time. And this is a very old town with, this easily could have belonged to a merchant who did overseas trading, and that's why his, house has a picture of a sailing ship on it. What the hell was I gonna say? But yeah, because we had that note about the Vandergraff estate. So it seems, I guess this town at one point was filled with a lot of rich people with really fancy homes and estates and stuff. And yeah. Yeah, I'm rambling now. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but basically I got the point across. Okay. Also, a lot of bricks seemingly piled up. That's weird. Like, 2 neat piles of bricks. The house doesn't look made of bricks, actually. Where did those bricks come from? It's made of stone. Not bricks. And wood. Was somebody going to build a fireplace? Perhaps? Or perhaps there was a fireplace and somebody destroyed it in order to... maybe somebody was trying to clean out this old house, and in the process destroyed the fireplace, but never got rid of the bricks. But I don't see any holes in the roof, so I'm gonna guess there was no fireplace. Maybe one was going to be built before the fire, before they left, or something. Not sure, but the spooky blue door went away. So I think we'll have to read the note again to make it come back up. But actually, we're going to do that in the next episode, because I'm out of time for now, unfortunately. I hope you all have enjoyed what we've done so far in The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and I hope you all continue to enjoy it. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.